Hey guys, Drutter here. It's the 28th of June 2015 today. This is a garden update video, and it's going to have a little bit of vegetables and stuff in the garden, a little bit of flowers around the yard. Starting off here we have Mr. Green's beans, and they're doing quite well this year so far. Well, first year I've done them, but it goes all the way up to there. There are a few ants and a few aphids on them. Not so much that I've had to deal with it yet, but I'm looking forward to these. It's mid-June right now, in the evening, out at Grandma's garden, and this is where the potatoes were up till this point. Tomatoes being that way. But I had a bunch of potatoes that I put in at the end of February, I believe it was. In early spring. And they're out, they're gone. And it took about, 3.5 months? And ended up with about 3 buckets like that. Enough for, I don't know how many meals there is there, but yeah, not very much garden space. A fair amount of carbohydrates and comfort food was created. If you don't do potatoes and you have a little bit of dirt somewhere in your yard and not a lot of time, potatoes are something you can do. And I also dug up my garlic today. Just pulled it out of the ground actually. And this needs to be cured, dried. Takes about a month or so. But I can use that with my potatoes tonight. I can put some of the fresh stuff right in. Make some garlic mashed potatoes. Out along the side, got tomatoes and mint and oregano and weeds. But this is the time of year, well, usually a little later than this. This is pretty early, mid to late June here. But this is the time of year anyway, midsummer. It's midsummer right now here, strangely, that the garlic all dries up and starts to fall over. You can see it's just not all that healthy anymore. And this is the time of year when usually you stop watering your garlic and you let it dry out. I've watered this stuff because I'm going to leave it in for another year. This will just all die off and the bulbs themselves will stay underneath. And in the fall they'll start to poke up above the ground level just before the winter frosts come. And then they freeze and sit there until spring, and then by summer they're massive again. And each year the bulbs underneath change. You can leave them in for multiple years and get different configurations of bulbs, I guess, basically how it works. Here's some I just pulled out. These looked big enough to pull out, but you will get these just round, large ones, and they're not really separated into cloves in there. It's just one big round garlic, and there's another one like that. But as they get a little bit bigger or have been in for more years, here's one, it's multiple different bulbs like that. So those are each the cloves of the garlic, each of those. And then you get these as well. These are just, I actually don't know what they're called. I could look it up and put it in the more info section, but just little, they're essentially just baby bulbs, really. They're just more bulbs. These will eventually grow into single ones like this over a period of a year. And then ones like this, if you leave those in for another year, you'll get these nice big clusters of cloves. And then you can even get like super clusters of these where you'll have like a massive collection of bulbs all together like that if you keep going for multiple years. But anyway, garlic is sort of, it's easy. It's not hard or anything. It's just different how it propagates itself in different ways. But I find that interesting as well. So I'll probably take out these bigger ones here. Decent sized ones. I'll leave the smaller ones in just in case I do get another year here at Grandma's house, which would be really, really nice. Here's some garlic that I pulled out of the ground a few days ago here in the main garden, main backyard garden. As you can see, it's massive clumps. These were just a couple of these. I think I just put a couple of these in the ground last fall, and then by mid-June I have several clusters of garlic. And then the process now is just to cut off the main parts and throw them aside and let the dirt naturally dry off of them and then the next step I will show you in the next video as this progresses. These came out of the ground just a couple of days ago, so you can eat them fresh, but to store them you need to dry them properly and cure them, so I'll show you how to do that. My 2 cucumber plants, one of them there, the one there. They're not all that long yet, but certainly starting to produce now. Some of the lily garden is finishing up. There was these really nice maroon ones here, and there are these beautiful white ones, but a lot of them are done. There's still these very, very tall ones here that have multiple lilies on top, and over here there's these big long ones that usually get above my head. They're not quite that tall this year, but they really smell funny when they open. I won't be able to show you that, but I'll show you what they look like. Some pink ones over here. In the front yard garden there's a couple of really nice bucket lilies. That one just has one bloom on it, but it'll have several nice deep purple blooms. And over here is a yellow one. And a couple of Madonna lilies here. I'm not too into roses, but there are quite a number of rose bushes on the property, and not sure how to care for them. I know you have to deal with the mildew and stuff like that. I do have some spotting on the leaves, but the roses still are quite nice. I guess I could learn how to take care of roses a bit better. There's a few nice ones around. There's some extremely tall ones too. Yellow ones. American Beauty. Most of them are already done for the year. And a few more buds. Grandma calls these ones her brandy roses. Some more roses. And the butterfly tree. I really pruned back the mock orange this year heavily, but it's definitely coming back. So it's got some really delicious smelling fragrance from the blossoms that come probably in the next few weeks. Grandpa's pink geranium. Bring it inside to the greenhouse every year and bring it back outside, and it thrives once again. No blooms yet, but the foliage for the dahlias and peonies and other midsummer to late summer flowers are certainly well on their way. Very green and lush. The hosta did flower, but it's not all that spectacular. A lot of stuff is finished up for the year, like these poppies. The 2 delphiniums here in the garden were really nice this year. This one's still out, the other one's starting to finish up now. It was a darker blue. They bring a lot of butterflies as well as honeybees into your garden, so really useful for helping get everything pollinated. Mid-June here, Grandma's garden, just looking at the tomato plants and noticing how green these are, how vibrant that is. If you don't recognize a healthy tomato plant when you see one, there's one. There's one. There's 22 or so. They are really loving this soil, and they're really loving this weather. Beautiful, beautiful early summer here. Actually, it's been early summer for at least a month. We're getting into midsummer. It's hot. The lawn's about dead here, but I don't really care. I'm not farming grass. Yes, I'm looking up at the top of that potted tomato plant, the Sweet 100. I put in a giant pot, and I've been micromanaging it all spring, and yes, it is well over my head now. 7.5 or 8 feet tall. I'm not much of a container gardener, so I don't really know too much what I'm doing here. I don't think I gave it enough fertilizer this year, and some of the leaves are dropping off. But yeah, it is quite a bit taller than me. I'm out in the garden now. It's a little bit overcast and windy, but it's a good opportunity to show you this plant. You can customize your plant, and the suckers, of course, are taking a little bit of energy out of your plant. They make energy with their leaves, but they're also taking energy up as well. So you can only have a certain amount on your plant, and your plant can only afford, if you want to say it that way, a certain amount of flowers and fruit, and based on its amount of sun it's getting and the nutrients it's getting from the ground. And we'll go over now to a different plant. That last plant was a Sweet 100. This is one of my Amish paste over in the corner. And it's doing fairly well. It's got a few aphids here and there. Nothing to write home about. Actually some nice spiders as well. They're taking care of the aphids. Never take spiders off your plants, ever. Same with ladybugs. And I hope you have a great year in the garden with your tomato plants and your other plants. And I will talk to you guys soon. Next up will be a silver video, or perhaps 2 silver videos if I can't fit them all into one 15-minute. I have quite a bit to say, and I've been working on the material for that for a while. Hoping to have that out in the next week. Really nice sunset. Looking out toward the ocean in Vancouver. It's been a really nice June. It's supposed to get hot now. It's been about 20 to 25 most days. A little bit of cloud, mostly just pure sun. And it's really nice weather for gardening, for getting out and about, enjoying the city, all kinds of things. And it's probably going to be a hot rest of the summer. It's about time. We haven't had a hot year for a long time. Looking forward to it if that's what's coming. Another day done. Talk to you guys soon.